Great. Thanks, Patrick. Thanks to the entire UC San Diego Entrepreneur Challenge team for inviting us. My name's Kayvon Pourmirzai. I'm the co-founder, COO of Nasseo. I co-founded Nasseo with Garrett Smith, who unfortunately was also supposed to be here, but he's in Ireland at the Irish Medical Device Conference. We wanted to share our story about how we transitioned as UC San Diego students into entrepreneurs in the healthcare field, and leave a few key learning points, lessons that we learned along the way that hopefully will help aspiring entrepreneurs and students that are currently in the Beister Auditorium right now. To give a quick update about Nasseo, Nasseo is a medical device company that has developed a novel surface modification platform. Garrett, as part of his PhD, he received a PhD in bioengineering from UC San Diego. He co-invented this technology that essentially creates a nanofabrication on the surface of certain materials. And we have decided to apply that to certain medical devices, including a dental implant system and a potential spinal cage system. Since winning the Entrepreneur Challenge last year, over the past year, we've achieved some solid milestones, including closing on a $520,000 seed financing round. We were winners of the Connect Life Sciences Capital competition, and we have submitted our initial 510K for our dental implant system. But more importantly, there have been some really amazing lessons that we've learned along the way. And the story really begins 7 years ago when Garrett and myself met. My background is a Bachelor in Science and Bioengineering from UC San Diego. I then went on to actually, with John Yamauchi, who was obviously one of the companies here, graduated together. I went on to get my JD, my Juris Doctorate, from the University of San Diego, so I stayed local, so I have a law degree. But 7 years ago, Garrett and myself, as I was finishing my bioengineering program, he was entering the PhD program at UC San Diego. We became friends, and there was a fantastic energy, there was a passion for entrepreneurship, and at that time, we said, hopefully one day we'll be able to come together and start a company. So that's really where the story started. As he was finishing his PhD, we circled back together, put a business plan together, and obviously competed in the Entrepreneur Challenge, and we're fortunate enough to win that. Over the past year, the three key lessons, begin with, first and foremost, you can't do it alone. And Garrett would have really liked to kind of talk more to this point, because he, over 6 years, co-invented the technology. He did a lot of networking. He worked with a lot of different business groups. And so you really can't do it alone. So seek guidance, seek mentorship as much as possible. The second point is, and it's a very critical point, target an unmet need with a clear business plan. A lot of entrepreneurs will figure out, or invent a certain technology and try to find a market for that technology. The key really is targeting an unmet need. And to highlight the point, with Nasseo, we've decided on a dental implant system because it's obviously a faster 510K. The last point that I'll leave is essentially make sure to stay focused, make sure to work with talented people that obviously share your passion, share your vision. Again, we've been fortunate enough to work with some great people, great consultants, great advisors over the past year, and we're looking to hopefully close on a $2 million Series A in the next few months and continue the journey. So again, as UC San Diego alumni, we're really passionate about mentorship. We're really passionate about giving back, and hopefully this story and all the others that come out and all the future ones that come out kind of continue to inspire everyone. And I'd be happy to answer any questions if there is time, or
And thank you very much.
Perfect.
At this time, I'd like to open it up to the entire audience for questions. We have a microphone up here. I'd like to prioritize it to the students that really want to be where Nasseo is today. So in the audience, are there any questions for how they got to where they are, or what you'd like to know about their path? Anyone in general?
In gaining the skill sets you needed in order to sort of move from the science over into the focus on business, what would you characterize as the biggest hurdles to gaining those skill sets or interacting or finding the people you needed in order to make that happen?
That's a critical question, and at the end of the day, the technology, oftentimes is fantastic in a lot of different startups, but really a lot of venture capitalists and a lot of investors will say they'll invest in the people, and they'll invest in the people because the business plan that you write on day one is never the business plan that is there at day 365 and is constantly evolving and being agile. I think the key is recognizing early on what your skill sets are and being able to find team members that complement. Obviously, Garrett is a PhD. I have an intellectual property background. One of the critical components of Nasseo early on was transferring the technology out of UC San Diego Tech Transfer, which is one of the things I helped with. So I think it's really identifying your key skill sets, being okay with understanding that you may be deficient in certain areas, and going out and, again, working with talented people, but most importantly, working with those people that share your vision. So that'd probably be, my advice to finding partners and things like that.
Any other questions from the audience? Sarah? So you have a question.
So generally in BioTech, MedTech area, it takes a long time to get revenue in. For example, you're still working on 510K. How do you survive the period before you get the first revenue in? And 510K process is also undeterministic many times. So.
No, that's a fantastic question. I think that goes back to point 2, target an unmet need. Obviously, make sure that you're targeting the technology to a market that's going to be served. We decided on a dental implant system. The 510K is relatively streamlined. The process is less than a year, more or less. We definitely could have applied the technology, and that's one of the fundamental decisions we made early on. We could have applied the technology to a knee implant or a hip implant because, again, the technology fosters osseointegration between the bone and the implant. And so I think, at the end of the day, in MedTech, there is a lot of room, for innovation in certain markets that are, that have faster regulatory pathways as well. I mean, software is another fantastic example as well.
How do you stay focused and find skill material that's not further application?
Yeah, that exactly, and that goes to the third point. You stay, it's at the end of the day, it's an agile type of process, and you really have to be willing to maneuver as certain obstacles come about. So it's key to be focused, but at the same time be constantly evaluating certain possibilities and certain strategic partnerships or certain opportunities and things like that. But you stay focused because you believe in the technology, you believe in helping the patients that can benefit. Obviously, from a dental implant side, missing teeth, failed implants is really a tough problem. It leads to a lot of psychological stress. It can lead to certain pains. So to stay focused, you have to be passionate about the problem that you're solving at the end of the day. And that also helps. And so once we targeted an unmet need kind of in the dental implant space, we've remained focused and committed to that space because we know that there's a lot of potential people and patients that can benefit from the technology. Kanan?
Yeah, I have a general question. So, what kind of motivated you? What led you to what is
What is entrepreneurship? No, a fantastic question. Entrepreneurship, to me, really boils down to making a difference. Helping people, changing people's lives, truly having an impact that goes beyond, as an attorney, I could have a successful career, practicing intellectual property law for 20, 30 years, grow to be a partner, grow to do this, grow to start my own firm. And there is a lot of beautiful technological innovation there, and I do patent prosecution and some pre-litigation strategy, so I do get to work with technology, so no offense to any patent prosecutors out there or any attorneys. It's a great field, but entrepreneurship at the end of the day, and there is even entrepreneurship in starting your own firm, but entrepreneurship is really making a difference as direct as possible in the people's lives, in the patients' lives, and that's really where entrepreneurship in MedTech and healthcare even has an added benefit, to society that personally I'm really geared towards and passionate about. So I think you just have to be focused like that. But I think that's my time, and thanks so much for the questions.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Patrick. Thanks again for having me.
Okay.